Flooding and mold have forced an Orange County couple from their house. They say their dream home nightmare is a result of fraud and negligence on behalf of several companies, so they're fighting back in court. Orange County Bureau Chief Eileen Frere has this Eyewitness News exclusive.
Greg and Cindy Comey walked through their one-time dream house. Sadly, they say it's now hard to even call it home.
Home is supposed to be home, and we were gone for a couple years.
According to the Comeys, their problems started in March 2013, just months after moving in. They say they came home to water raining down from an upstairs bathroom.
The floor was saturated.
Difficult for any homeowner, but particularly tough for Cindy, who walks with a cane and says she suffers from severe spinal problems. They called State Farm, the insurance company they've paid premiums to for 20 years.
We trusted them.
The Comeys say State Farm recommended their premier service program for water loss, stressing service providers ServPro and ServiceMaster are independent of State Farm.
If any work they do is substandard, you have a 5-year warranty on that.
So they really sold it.
Oh, yeah.
ServPro went to work.
When they left, they told the Comeys the house is dry.
About 2 weeks after ServPro did the work here, the Comeys say they started smelling what they believed was mold. The Comeys say State Farm initially told them mold tests were not covered, so they paid for it themselves.
When we found out the results, it was shock. The house was contaminated with mold.
The Comeys and their 2 children moved into a hotel. The Comeys say State Farm paid ServPro despite the Comeys' dissatisfaction. 2 months after the flood, the Comeys say State Farm recommended the other company, ServiceMaster, to clean up what ServPro allegedly left behind.
Upstairs where the loss occurred, in the bathroom, they didn't take out the bathtub, and the water was trapped under the bathtub. That's how they save money, is by cutting corners.
Instead of removing mold damage, the Comeys say ServiceMaster sprayed a white-colored paint to cover it up to pass a mold test that it initially failed.
It was a nightmare. A nightmare.
The Comeys filed a lawsuit against State Farm, ServiceMaster, and ServPro. Among the accusations, breach of contract, fraud, and negligence.
The bottom line between State Farm, ServPro, and ServiceMasters is they're in cahoots.
In an internal email uncovered by the Comeys' attorney in the course of litigation, after the Comeys questioned the relationship between State Farm and ServPro, a veteran State Farm claims team manager writes to his adjuster, "We can say all we want that they are independent contractors, but I think we would lose in court." The Comeys' attorney alleges while ServPro and ServiceMaster get repeat business, State Farm has a pattern and practice of using its vendors to minimize the scope of loss and to pay less money by trying to avoid removing mold damage and rebuilding.
It's more expensive to do that than for the house to develop mold and pay the mold limit. State Farm has a cap on mold of $5,000.
ServiceMaster and ServPro say they're unable to comment on pending litigation. State Farm says we deny these allegations and are eager to present our case in the appropriate place, and that is in a court of law. It says its premier service program is optional. Our policyholders always have the right to select their own service company to do their repair work.
A 20-year policyholder, you feel very betrayed.
While back home after 2 years away, they say they'll have to leave again once they can afford to have the mold properly removed. In Mission Viejo, Eileen Frere, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.